What happens when someone accidentally takes hundreds, even thousands of doses of acid?
There is a steady flow into San Francisco hospitals of young people who have freaked out and been picked up by the police in a state of desperate terror.
That's what we're going to find out in this video. On the 29th of July 1972, a group of hippies in San Francisco lounged around after a dinner party. Someone offered the entire group a line of coke, and 8 people, 4 men and 4 women between the ages of 19 and 39 took them up on that offer. They didn't know that they were about to embark on the most intense psychological experience of their entire lives. According to a report that was published the following year, 1973, in the Western Journal of Medicine, the group did take a small amount of cocaine, but at some point there was a mix-up then, and they ended up snorting very pure, 80 to 90% pure powdered LSD. It was a colossal dose. The most common form of LSD is in liquid form or in tabs, also known as blotters. Microdots, tiny concentrated tablets, used to be big years ago, but you don't really see it often in that form now. But less commonly, LSD can come in a potent white powder, and it is very potent because many other drugs are much less powerful gram for gram than powdered LSD. Coke or Ket, for instance, is active at a milligram level. A milligram is 1,000th of a gram, but LSD is active at microgram level. A microgram is 1/1,000,000th of a gram. A common dose of LSD is 100 micrograms.
How can I tell you how really powerful I am?
It's difficult to know exactly how much the people at the San Francisco party had taken, but when they were later tested at hospital, they found between 1,000 and 7,000 micrograms of LSD per milliliter of blood. The researchers in the report said that was 260 to 2,100 doses of LSD. The police confiscated a white flaky powder later and got it lab tested and concluded that it was 80 to 90% pure LSD. Within 5 minutes, the people that had snorted the LSD experienced anxiety, restlessness, muscle discomfort, vomiting, and physical collapse. Their friends rushed them to a nearby hospital and got them there within 10 minutes. 5 were comatose at that point, while the others were extremely hyperactive with severe visual and auditory hallucinations. 3 patients stopped breathing and needed to be put on a ventilation machine. Other symptoms included diarrhea, vomiting, bleeding, blood clots, and fever. The weird thing is that all the patients recovered after 12 hours completely, and they'd all been discharged from the hospital within 48 hours. None of them had any memory of how they got there, however. The researchers reported that there was no physical or psychological implications from it, and most of the participants continued to take LSD every now and again. But they tried to estimate that, but it was 1970s science though, so it's probably discredited now, but they tried to look at how much it would take to kill a rat and try and extrapolate that up, and they reckoned in this study that it would take 14,000 micrograms to kill someone. That's not the last time that something like this happened, because there was some other case studies covered in this 2020 report. So let's have a look at some other case studies, but first, a very quick word from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by Easy Test Kits, quick, reliable and affordable drug testing kits for all your favourite party prescriptions. To learn more or to pick up, say, an LSD testing kit, head to the description down below and use my promo code SESH for a 10% discount. On June the 20th in the year 2000, a group of friends in Canada gathered to celebrate the summer solstice, and about 20 of them decided to take some LSD that was dosed in glasses of water. Whoever was preparing it messed up the decimal place, meaning that everyone got 10 times the amount that they were expecting. And nobody died in this incident, which shows really how remarkably safe LSD actually is when it comes to overdose. You know, with many other drugs, certainly central nervous system depressants, you know, taking 10 times the amount would certainly kill you. An acid trip at an average dose can last a long time. You might get 12 hours of intensified colours and sounds or altered perception of time, etc. And that's because the LSD molecule, which mimics the neurotransmitter serotonin, has a lid that locks into serotonin receptors. Because of this lid, it can remain there for hours and hours, meaning that minuscule concentrations of this drug can have dramatically potent effects. People at the summer solstice party had a humongous trip. One person involved in that incident that's reported in the case study was a 15-year-old girl who suffered from bipolar disorder. She'd taken a huge dose, 1,100 micrograms. According to the report, her behavior became manic and erratic. She lay on the floor in the fetal position, clenching her arms and rocking back and forth. An ambulance was called because the other people around didn't know if she was having a seizure, had lost consciousness, or just was having the massive trip of a lifetime. She was treated in hospital, and the next day the effects of the megadose had completely worn off and she'd completely recovered. Her dad visited her in the hospital where she said, "It's over." He thought she meant the trip was over, but she actually meant the bipolar. Before the condition, she would have daily episodes of her bipolar, but after the megadose, she appeared to be cured. The scientific community can't explain what happened here, but they did follow up for 20 years on her and found that it didn't return that whole time. Now, I'm not saying that if you've got a mental disorder, you should go and take a huge dose of LSD at a party, but it is interesting to look at this case study, and it's interesting that no one really knows how this happened. Years later, this woman said that it kind of felt like her brain chemistry had been reset from the incident. Another person at that party who accidentally took a huge dose was a 26-year-old woman who didn't know at the time that she was 2 weeks pregnant. Now, she took half a glass, not a full glass, an estimated 500 micrograms. That's 5 times a common dose, and the researchers noted that she didn't have any ill effects or no problems during the pregnancy, and the child, who was 18 when they wrote this report, was noted to be healthy and actually a very talented student. Another case study was an incident that happened in 2015, and once again someone snorted powdered LSD thinking it was coke. It was a 46-year-old woman, and she suffered from chronic pain as a result of her Lyme disease. 15 minutes after snorting the LSD, she realized that she'd made a big mistake. I feel like there's a lesson to be learnt here, guys, that if you do have powdered LSD, you need to sort of maybe put some food coloring in it, or put it in a really sort of like obvious label on the bag or something, because it's crazy. It's not like mixing up Ket and Coke, is it? It's different level. So from the report, you can see with this one, what happened was that the woman asked her roommate for a line of Coke. He said yes, and then she went in and accidentally got the powdered LSD. She called out to her roommate when everything started getting a bit weird, and he said, "Oh no, that's not the coke, that's the LSD." He then weighed out the powdered LSD to find out the damage, how much she'd taken. It turned out that she'd taken 55 milligrams of LSD, so 550 times a common dose. She had an epic trip that lasted 34 hours. For the first 12 hours, she was blacking out and spewing up, and it was described as hellish. But then for the subsequent 12 hours after that, she reported being pleasantly high. Apparently she was just sat in a chair, but she was like frothing at the mouth, and every so often she'd blurt out random words. And 10 hours after that, she felt completely fine and appeared to make a full recovery, and her chronic pain had disappeared. She'd been taking morphine for years to treat this chronic pain, and she stopped taking the morphine for 5 days and didn't experience any opioid withdrawals. 5 days later, the pain returned, so she started taking a low dose of opioids and microdosing LSD every 3 days. She did that for 3 years. In 2018, she stopped the morphine for good and reported that she had no sort of withdrawal effects. These stories are very interesting to the scientific community and to everyone, because it would be unethical to give a human a huge dose of LSD. So it's only when it happens accidentally that people can find out what actually happens. But it's astonishing how safe LSD is compared to many other drugs in this respect. Heroin would kill someone at like 6 times the common dose, But, you know, we've got an example of someone who took 2,000 times the common dose and didn't die. It's no wonder that Albert Hofmann, the first person to ever synthesize LSD in 1938, described it as one of the least toxic drugs known to man. Despite this, governments around the world classify it as one of the most dangerous drugs, higher than many other drugs that are clearly more harmful than it. So we can see now that the actual scale of harms that many governments around the world and authorities use isn't based on harm at all. It's actually based on just them having agendas against certain drugs. Why do they have an agenda against LSD? Perhaps it's because it makes people think differently about the big topics of the day, and that is incredibly dangerous to many governments and authorities around the world.
There's nothing grown up or sophisticated in taking an LSD trip at all. They're just being complete fools.
If you find these videos useful or interesting, then follow me, hit the bell notification. You can get them on Spotify too, and I'll see you on the next one.